Yo, so this is a video topic that I've been wanting to cover for quite a while now. And you all know me, and if you don't, I love the underrated, underappreciated characters, the Usops of the world, you know? The guys who don't get love from the One Piece fans, and even fucking Oda and Toei in some cases. I've already gone to war with the Shanks fangirls. It's how I started making One Piece videos in the fucking first place. I made a whole video about how I could beat Shanks even, but this is the final boss right here. This is the pinnacle of fan favorite, dick-ridden, generally overrated characters. It's Zoro, right? This is the Zoro video. This is going to be the placeholder for the Zoro video on my channel for the near future. Let me just get that out of the way. I'm gonna have to be very careful with how I word things in this video because some of Zoro's ride or dies are gonna end up knocking on my door to make me repent my sins that I'm about to make. But if that happens, at least I got my truth out there at the end of the day. So Zoro, right? He's the number 2 on the main character's crew. He's the Sasuke of One Piece without being, you know, evil. But he is still very much edgy, being the fucking king of hell and shit. So that archetype off-rip is going to be very popular. It's just how anime is. But I have yet to see a fan base write a character like they do with Zoro. In any fan base of any media. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even Toei from time to time go out of their way to make Zoro look a bit cooler than what he did in the manga. Just fucking because. Actually, fuck! Now that I think about it, I own 2 One Piece shirts in real life. And both of them are fucking Zoro shirts. So, shit, I guess I'm part of the problem. But at least I'm aware enough to realize it. Zoro is kind of like the LeBron of One Piece. Now, if you don't watch basketball, you're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let me explain. So, LeBron has a massive amount of dick suckers, right? He's a top 2 basketball player of all time, so he deserves it. He's like the world's greatest swordsman. He's the Mihawk in this situation, per se. Every little thing he does will be broadcasted everywhere. But he deserves it because he is the fucking world's greatest swordsman. But it is pretty much impossible for him to be underrated since people ride for him so fucking hard. He is shoved in your face. All of his accolades, everything he does, you will hear about constantly. That is the case with Zoro, but he doesn't yet have the accomplishments to back it up. He will someday, but not right now. There will be polls that pop up in my recommended that are like, who's winning, Zoro or insert random fucking admiral? And it'll be like 85% Zoro. I'm sorry, Zoro's not beating a fucking admiral right now. That is absurd. And that's what made me want to make this video. I see that shit like every week, and it's crazy. And this overratedness was confirmed to me when I experienced it firsthand. In some video, I said that Yamato was stronger than Zoro, which I mean, as of right now, I think it's kind of hard to argue that Zoro is stronger than Yamato. I think they're very similar, but I think Zoro is a little bit weaker than Yamato at this very moment. Obviously, Zoro will be stronger than all these characters that you compare him to at some point, but it's not illegal to say that Zoro isn't stronger than someone he'll surpass very soon. But anyway, I get why Zoro gets this attention, like I said earlier. It's just, he is a very popular archetype. But I want to take off the fucking rose-tinted glasses and really look at Zoro for who his character is and determine if he is truly worth the hype. Which, I mean, he isn't worth the hype because nobody is able to live up to the hype that Zoro is put under. But you get what I mean. So Zoro, pretty much immediately, as soon as he is introduced to the story, is treated as some dangerous fucking monster. Basically, as soon as we hear of him, he looks fucking cool as shit. He's the infamous pirate hunter Zoro. He sounds pretty goddamn cool. He joins the crew and takes on the second strongest guy in all the fights for the rest of the story. But really what solidifies Zoro's character and made him into the fucking brute that he is now is the time he got his ass beat. And you know I love it when my favorite characters get their ass beat. Nothing but pure character development and maybe death in some circumstances come from losing. And that is true in real life, I guess. Zoro thought he was about to take on the world's strongest swordsman, which was his goal, and he was fucking swatted away like a fly. It made him realize that he's not there yet, and he's still got a long-ass way to go. Just because you can beat up bums in your local neighborhood doesn't mean you can take on fucking goddamn Mike Tyson. And that was a very necessary lesson that Zoro had to learn that couldn't be taught in any other way. Sometimes you just gotta get your ass beat. This moment now reminds me a lot of Kuma slapping away all the Straw Hats right in front of Luffy because they weren't ready for the New World. Mihawk essentially did the exact same thing for Zoro. I'm sure Mihawk had different intentions and wasn't as pure-hearted as Kuma, but it still had the same effect. That was Zoro's Kodak moment. It came extremely fucking early, really earlier than anyone else in the crew, and because of that, him as a character seems kind of stunted. It has this illusion that he's been the same guy and has never changed. But that's not true. He just had that moment that all the Straw Hats have extremely fucking early. But overall, he's pretty fucking likable if you like badass characters, because I mean, he is that through and through. I personally prefer Sanji because he has a bit more depth as a character and actually has a substantial backstory. That's my biggest gripe with Zoro, really. His backstory just fucking sucks. And I really don't think there's any hope for us to ever get any backstory for him at this point. That's what really fucking stinks with Zoro. He'll always be loved and appreciated regardless, but I think if Zoro had a solid backstory, it'd really solidify him as a fucking iconic character in anime. But anyway, with everything I just stated, is Zoro still an overrated character? Yes. I mean, it's fucking impossible for him to be underrated or properly rated with the way he's put on a pedestal by the fans and even Toei. I fucking love the Zoro versus King fight. I think it's the best fighting episode in One Piece. But why was a Zoro fight treated with literal god tier animation, actual fucking cinematic masterpiece? While the Gear 5 episodes were good, they just didn't live up to the Zoro fight. They were overshadowed. There really isn't any reason for the first 2 Gear 5 episodes to be reusing animations 3 fucking times throughout the episode. It should be getting the same, if not better treatment than Zoro's fight since it's Gear 5. It was the most hyped thing in all of anime for all of 2022 and 2023. But anyway, my point is with this video, Zoro is a great fucking character, but he's not as great as the loud-ass fanboys think. Go ahead, let the dislikes reign. I just had to let my opinions be heard. Plus, since this is like the Zoro video on my channel now, I may as well talk about it since it's pretty fucking prevalent with him. But yeah, that's about it. I'm recording the audio of this video on January 10th on a fucking Wednesday, and that's the exact day I dropped my literal first video. So that's pretty goddamn cool. Been in the game for a whole year now. I'm a fucking vet. Next chapter of One Piece drops next Tuesday. Sub to my second channel if you want spoilers on that shit. Yeah.